Aries, a very warm welcome. My name is Drew. This is Modern Tarot. Those of you that are new here, welcome. And those of you returning, welcome back. So Aries, this is all about the middle of September. I apologize, guys, that, I didn't get out the September readings as I planned. I was moving house and it took some time to get all the connectivity done in the studio and these kind of things, all right? So apologies. So where we were, I think it was like the end of August, Aries seemed to be like, you know what, I loved the tribe, but you know what, I wasn't growing, I wasn't learning, I wasn't inspired, I certainly wasn't getting reciprocity from people. I seemed to be, taken advantage of and used and abused, some of you. So a lot of you decided, you know what, I'm booking that course, I'm doing those dance lessons, I'm going on that trip. And it's the height of self-love to do that, all right? To feed your soul yourself and not expect somebody else to do it for you, Aries, right? Because people have just let you down, all right? So brilliant, great news for you. So let's have a look, Aries. What's going to be happening for you, around you, within you, the last couple of weeks of September? Where's this year gone, guys? Right. I think one more shuffle and I'm going to go straight into this reading. And hopefully we've got some good news for you, Aries, all right? Let's have a look. So, bottom of the deck, all right, some of you, this could be relationship. It's the Four of Wands, okay? So this talks about stability. But, if I'm thinking of you, Aries, and over, all the work, the hard self-work that you've done and letting people go, having big goals in your life, right? This is a card of stability within. So you're feeling a lot more stable, Aries, and, some of you might be very into the home, with the Four of Wands here. This could be a relationship card, as I say, but we're going to go deeper with this reading. But it's a great card to start a reading. It's just the undercurrent. It's not the main part of the reading. But, it's stability within, realizing that, nobody can make me happy, Aries. We do it all by ourselves, right? And if anyone comes to our table, show up in the correct way, okay? Because I'm already feeling a lot more stable now. That I've had the coal and I've got rid of a lot of users and abusers and freeloaders, right? So let's shuffle. I was going to shuffle again. Actually, I will. I just want to shuffle that again. I don't know why. Just one more time. Which might have come to a shock. This tower wanted to show itself there. It might have come to a shock to a lot of people of, how you've become so stable, Aries. Center of the reading, we've got death in reverse, all right? This is, even though you are stable, Aries, I think the last couple of weeks of September, and plane flying overhead. Apologies, guys, if this microphone picks it up. But death in reverse. This is like, something that hasn't ended, something hasn't closed out, something hasn't transformed. Now, this might be the people around you, circumstances, people, places, and things, right? So when we're changing within, what happens is it takes a long time for others to catch up. So a lot of you might be leaving certain, social situations and these kind of things, and really just, exiting silently, not making a big fanfare about it. Okay, the challenge is we've got the Two of Wands in reverse, all right? So the Two of Wands always talks about choice. This guy's got the world in his hands here, all right? Two of Wands. And he's got another wand in his hand. It's almost like the Page of Wands, making a decision and going for it, beginning again on a new decision. In a challenge, you might still be feeling stuck, Aries, even though you want change and you're making small increments of change and booking those trips, booking those classes and the things that you always wanted to do, picking up the guitar, those kind of things, starting yoga. You still feel a little bit stuck, all right? And that's normal. Change, right? Reason why it's all happening, the moon, okay? Illusions, the moon's it's a beautiful card. It's a very spiritual card in tarot, Aries. The reason why things are happening is you might confuse yourself sometimes. What am I really doing? Is this a good idea? Don't second guess yourself and make yourself feel stuck. Analysis by paralysis, Aries. All right. And remember, healing is all 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. So give yourself time. Last couple of weeks of September. All right. In the recent past, 3 of Cups, all right? Some of you might have been out partying, celebrating, all right? Family, friends, reuniting, okay? For some of you guys, all right, it's not a personal reading, but for some of you, something hadn't really ended, okay? But yet someone came back and they're still a little bit With the moon card here, there's still a little bit mysterious. Nothing's really clear, keeping you stuck. You might have reunited with somebody, Aries. Um, and nothing has really transformed. It might have been honeymoon, period or whatever. We're getting back together. Um, and then, it goes back into the same old patterns, right? Which is a bit of mystery and stuckness. Your focus is, some of you are focused on the Four of Swords, focused on holding back from people, going no contact. It's a focus of yours, the Four of Swords. If you look at this card, you know, it's another four. We had the Four of Wands and the Fours. All right, it's a super spiritual time for you guys. In as much that the Three of Swords above his head, this is heartbreak, pain, and all these kind of things. By life, it doesn't have to be love, guys. All right, but and then there's a sword of truth under his bed, and it's almost like that Ace of Swords. He's waiting for divine intervention here. So some of you might be feeling a little bit stuck about the decisions that you're making and booking these courses, and God, I was expecting so much in my world to change by doing this, but it happens very slowly, guys. All right, so we've got to have patience, Aries. All right, what you don't see coming towards you, we've got the Ten of Cups in reverse. All right, those of you, if this is talking about relationships, all right, you might have reunited with someone, out partying, celebrating. Somebody, you might have met somebody at a party or a social gathering. Death in reverse, not transforming, or things haven't closed out. Maybe old patterns haven't closed. Feeling a bit stuck, and then there's secrets and illusions and these kind of things. And you might have kind of gone no contact, or someone's gone no contact on you, just for a select few of you. But you don't see coming towards you. Maybe it's not your Ten of Cups, whoever this might have been for you guys. All right. Your energy is the Page of Cups in reverse. You're unapologetic, Aries, throughout the last couple of weeks of September. In love, in life, in work, unapologetically you, because you've done reflection. Your focus is reflection. Your focus is self-accountability. Am I a good person? Well, actually, you know what? I'm trying to be. I'm working on it. And so, you're unapologetically healing and doing you, all right, which is great. Outside influences, the world. Some of you guys might have reunited, okay, or may reunite with somebody. It doesn't have to be love, guys. Remember that, tarot isn't always about love. You might be reunited with family, friends, or people from overseas, I'm just saying. But, the world talks about an ending. And so, for a select few of you, you might have gone back to something, reunited, only to find out it hadn't transformed, but it is like an ending. But sometimes we just go through the motions. All right, you do fear heartbreak, Aries. Who doesn't? All right, it's not a nice place to be, is it? But with the newfound boundaries and your go-get attitude, even though sometimes you feel a bit stuck, and is this the right decision to make? Do I second guess myself here? I thought my world would really change when I booked this trip, or this these dance lessons or whatever. It's a fear of yours. All right, heartbreak. Outcome, right? This is good, right? We've got Knight of Cups here. This is either you, Aries, offering your love to somebody, or somebody might be offering love to you. Okay, Knight of Cups. He's charming, bit of a poet, but Knight of Cups. He's a sentimentalist. It's not like the Knight of Wands, which is all about passion and he's in and out and it's all great fun. The Knight of Cups is more, he's got a bit of sensitivity to him, a little bit more depth than the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is more opportunist. So let's clarify this reading now and go through, what might be going on for you, Aries. So why is Death in reverse here as the center of the reading? All right, something not transforming, or you might have, cut ties with people and you're gradually, slowly moving away, even though you haven't really closed it out. It's like lingering. It's a bit like when you're messaging people and you're kind of like you've lost that. The thrill is gone. There's a song for you, Aries. And the thrill is gone in that relationship. Butcher, baker, candlestick maker. We're in relationship with everybody, right? So it's not, as I say, always about love. When they start texting us and we just give them the exploding thumbs up, it's our way of slowly exiting, or better show some acknowledgement here. So you might be in the thumbs up kind of mood, Aries, last couple of weeks of September. So let's have a look. Why is Death in reverse here? Something not closing out, something not ending or transforming. Okay, Communication. So, look, the center of the reading is something hasn't really closed out or ended, and there might still be communication. So, like I said to you, if it's just about life and people, the clans and the folk you were dealing with, the social circles that they weren't inspiring you anymore, and you're trying to move away and do new things for yourself. You still might be in contact with these people. Somebody might have contacted you. You know, the communication might not have changed. It might be the same old, same old. The challenge is, yeah, look, the challenge, Aries, is, don't second guess yourself, okay, when you're making decisions, because paralysis by analysis, right? Just watch that. It might be a bit of a challenge for you. Am I doing the right thing? And then we stick around only to feel uninspired still. The reason why it's all happening, we've got the moon, all right? Like I said, it's a spiritual card, and then getting over disappointments, okay? So you might be quite secretive, Aries. People might not know that you're getting over disappointments about life. You might be quite proud and keeping it to yourself and doing a lot of inner work that nobody knows about, right? Like your own little project, becoming your own best friend. Recent past, yeah, there's a Three of Cups here, celebrating with family and friends, and the Sun in reverse. Although it wasn't very clear, lack of clarity again. Moon, Sun in reverse. Some of you might have reunited with people, and it didn't really. It wasn't all it was cracked up to be. The Sun in reverse there, lack of clarity or not feeling that happy. It's a card of happiness, right? The Sun. It's a beautiful card, by the way. Your focus is, Aries, this is still you, all right? And this is your ethos, if you like. I'm prepared to go no contact from anything that is non-reciprocal. It's always a topic with you. You're looking for an equal match in whatever you do, Aries, wherever you invest your time, all right? And so your focus is, I'm willing to cut people out and go no contact if I feel that I'm being used and abused, or, they're not fair situations, What you don't see coming towards you is, you're not about taking risks, all right, on something that you don't really intuitively feel, with your reflection and these kind of things. You want to take a giant leap of faith into it. I don't think you want to gamble your healing on things that just aren't cutting the rug, Aries, throughout September, all right? Yeah, look, your energetic field is great. The Four of Wands has come out again, all right? Remember, it was the undercurrent, it was the bottom of the deck in this reading. This is stability. Stability around the home, so working on your home where you live. Some of you might be focused on, redecorating, making your home your sanctuary, these kind of things, all right, throughout September, getting ready for winter. And it's kind of you're unapologetically seeking out stability, all right, in work, in love, in life, unapologetically, because you realize, Aries, it's a focus of yours still. I'm willing to cut things out that aren't reciprocal. I've learned the art of trusting myself to do that. I might second guess sometimes, but you know what? I deserve it. I'm deserving. So it all comes down to worthiness, guys, right? Very often we put up with shitty situations because we feel unworthy of anything better, right? And so, classic case, I've had some clients and it's like, I don't think I'll ever be able to do better than them. Of course you will. If someone's treating you like shit, excuse my language there, guys, you've got to believe that you're worthy of better treatment, okay? And so that's your focus. Your focus is, I'm willing to cut anything out which is non-reciprocal. I'm not feeling it. Aries ain't feeling it, all right? All right, so outside influences, we've got the World, and then we've got the Seven of Wands. I'm just wondering, Aries, whether, someone, as an outside influence, the world, an ending, brand new cycle. It's an outside influence, remember, somebody might be pretty guarded, okay? I'm going to clarify that and go a bit deeper. Your fears, all right, and who doesn't fear this, all right, is Seven of Swords and Three of Swords, okay? And so you do fear deceptive people, Aries, still, you're lacking a bit of trust. Your trust has been broken. Just don't distrust yourself, okay? Very often when we don't trust people, it's actually because we don't trust ourselves to make decisions. And so trust yourself, be judgmental. It's okay. It's not a dirty word being judgmental, because you're not coming from a bad place, Aries. You're coming from, hey, look, I'm judging this situation, this person, place, or thing based on, is it reciprocal? Am I getting my just merits? I'm worthy of more, all right? Okay, some of you, right, an outcome, all right, for the last couple of weeks of September. We've got the Knight of Cups, all right. Might be a charmer, it might not be a healthy choice in love, or again, you might be indecisive about offering something to someone, Aries. I'm just wondering whether some of you guys have reunited or going to reunite with someone, and the wanting, the state of limerence of missing that person and all these kind of things, and then suddenly it's presented in front of you, and you realize that it was actually my moon, my illusions, my fantastical thinking, my rose-colored glasses were reminiscing about something beautiful, and when it materialized in front of me, it wasn't making me happy, all right? And so I'm just wondering, for some of you, right, again, not a personal reading, guys, there might be an offer which might not be a healthy choice in love for you, all right? Just wonder whether some of you are reuniting, going back to something that's hasn't transformed and it's non-reciprocal, leather doesn't change its spots, that kind of thing, Aries. Let's have a look. I want to clarify this now. Actually, look, in the move, some of these cards got messed up and they ended up in the wrong way round, and that won't do, right, Aries? We don't do that. Not in modern tarot, we don't do that. Let's have a look. There you go. All right, it's a card here. I'm going to give it to you anyway, all right? I'm serious about us. I want to build with you. Again, some of you might have reunited. Nothing's changed, but they might spill, the spiel. And I want to build with you. I see a future with you and all these kind of things. But, I want you in my life, Aries, but on my terms. Is it one of those, which is non-reciprocal, right? So a select few of you, watch out for that. And there might be somebody here that's quite guarded about, or they want to fight this ending as an outside influence, okay? How strong are you, Aries? All right, because your focus is, I'm cutting anything out that doesn't suit me, or, cut the rug. I had an ulterior motive and hidden agenda. All right, so look, Aries, I think really, last couple of weeks of September, you really are willing to cut out anything, anything that doesn't suit you, that's not paying you back for your time, care, and attention, your intelligence, right? And you're spotting people with ulterior motives and agendas. Now, you're not falling in love with the idea of falling in love. You're actually more grounded about it, because you know that healing takes time, and it's exhausting, right? I want to reach out, but totally not sure of the reception I would get. Just wondering, for some of you, you might have cut things out, now second-guessed yourself. You want to reach out, but you're not sure of the reception that you get. Or this could be the other person, right? Okay? Some of you... No, look, if your fears are heartbreak and deception, I was only in it for fun. I was never serious, Just be careful of your choices throughout the month of September. Some of you guys, there might be someone coming back around or wanting to reunite, or recent past you did. This is where life might have got in the way and you naturally kind of separated and you came back together, or that might be happening throughout the last couple of weeks, all right? Your energetic field is, look at this, all right? So this is your energetic field, unapologetically working on your stability, your home, making it your sanctuary, Aries. Working on your inner stability, okay? And then it's got, I'm serious about us, I want to build with you, right? Which came out earlier in reverse. And I think really what this reading is saying, Aries is still on this healing journey where, I'm doing it alone. Nobody can make me happy. I am not, it's very shaky ground and very foolish to think that anyone can make you happy. They're too busy trying to make themselves happy. It starts within, right? Within and without. And so you're working on your stability unapologetically, Aries, and realizing that, you know, no one's going to do it for me. You know, most people have an ulterior motive and hidden agenda, and I'm no longer foolish and in illusions. I'm getting out of that disappointing way of being and, you know, expectations of people. Once your trust is broken, you can never go back, Aries. So for some of you, don't second guess a decision to let something end. Somebody might fight it, you know, and be very guarded about the ending. But if your trust has been broken, Aries, you know, don't give someone permission to do it all over again. And what might be a driving force, and this might be the Two of Wands in reverse, all right? I like the togetherness I feel with you. And so it's between a rock and a hard place. I like the togetherness I feel when it's great. It's great when it's shit. It's really shit. And it might, you know, make you or kind of put you in a bit of a situation here of making a bad choice in love, okay? So just watch that. Some of you guys are watching money throughout the last couple of weeks of September. Might be a bit of an issue for you. I'm not saying it's sinister, guys, or really bad. But yeah, it's something to do with money. I'm just checking the time here, 21 minutes. Where's it going to go now with this reading? I just want to have a look. If it is about love, all right, the last couple of weeks of September. The last couple of weeks of September, all right, if it is about love, those of you that are dating or just met someone, all right, let's have a message for you guys, all right, what you might need to know. Getting to know each other, all right, came out in reverse here. Just wonder whether some of you met someone at a party and kind of like never heard from them again, and you might have been sending them messages and all these kind of things, you know, and you might have what's the word I'm looking for here? You might have overreached. And this person's like, you know, kind of like ghosting. Four of Swords can be a bit of a ghosting card, right? Where you sent maybe a few too many messages just chasing up because you like the person, maybe. For some of you guys, right? It's not a personal reading. And so now you've expired that window of how many messages you can send, you know? And so there's no contact now and it's non-reciprocal, you know? And, you know, do you really know the person? Getting to know each other in reverse, all right? Those of you generally in love, okay, forgiving and learning. As we release and heal the past, you experience more love in the present moment, Aries. And a lot of you, you know, you're working on your inner stability. You're forgiving and learning the past is the past. You know, the only way is up. Because now you're paying attention to the red flags, Aries. All right? So you are, like I say, your focus is willing to cut anything out which is not worthy of your time, care, or attention, because you invest, Aries. You're fire, you know, and you want to build with people, but, you know, yeah, I've forgotten the past, and I forgave it, and I'm learning, and that's Aries, you know, and some people might be resisting this ending with you, Aries. Aries is leaving the building, but slowly, you know, still replying to messages with the exploding thumbs up, but it's kind of like a subliminal message that, you know what, I'm no longer inspired by this, but I'm being polite. You know what I mean? It's up to the other person then to get the social cues, isn't it? You know? But let's have a look. Aries, something that might be very significant, something for you to pay attention to or consider throughout the month of the last couple of weeks of September. Something that's going to be key, all right, in these 2 weeks. Relationships, intimacy, into me, you see, remember that, okay? Intimacy, freedom, acceptance, and trust. You know, those words are intimacy, freedom, acceptance, and trust. Is talking about healthy relationships, Aries, where you allow the other person the freedom to love you, and you give them the freedom to love you back. So it's not about controlling love. It really is about healthy, interdependent relationships, okay? Visualization, okay? Imagination, focus, experience, manifestation. Some of you, you know, you are manifesting, all right, by visualizing things, seeing outcomes, letting it go, imagining you are going to find this perfect car, whatever it might be, seeing it in your mind's eye, seeing the color, and then, you know, letting it go. And you'll be amazed at how it works. Excuse me, guys. I've been reading all morning. Insight, Aries. What's this about? Understanding, awakening, awareness, and self-evaluation. And this is you. Again, the color purple, all right, might be quite significant for you. I had a few personal clients that started wearing purple, and everyone was commenting how wonderful they looked. They were both Aries, actually, by the way, because I think it came out in a previous reading for you, that color. Um, I'm going to go here. Yeah, so something else for you, like a little mantra to take with you throughout the last couple of weeks of September. What have we got for Aries? You are protected. It's go time. Those of you, don't second guess, do that court. You are doing the right thing. You're moving forward. And, change takes time. It's slow increments. And then when you look back, you go, can't believe how far I've come. All right. But you don't see it in the moment. So you're protected. It's go time, Aries. You're currently being protected. The universe has your best interests at heart. Move forward fearlessly and have courage. And don't go back to liars, stealers, or cheats, right? You only give them permission to do it again, unfortunately. Believe in yourself, Aries. You have the power to succeed just like everybody else does, all right? So it's 2 weeks of your inner stability, feeling strong, holding your head high, having that air of confidence about you, spotting people with hidden agendas, and it's no longer a problem for you because you go, I got your number, see straight through you, keep it moving, dude, do that. I'm feeling stable now. I'm not feeling needy. I'm actually focused on interdependent relationships which are healthy, which are about, freedom to love, intimacy. Into me you see somebody that just gets you and you get them, and trust and acceptance, so that's non-judgmental, isn't it? Unconditional love, if you like. So if you're a song, Aries, throughout the last couple of weeks of September, again, it might not be your genre. Give it one listen to. It might be a subliminal message in there, the melody might evoke certain feelings within you that need healing. Unbreak My Heart by Tony Braxton. Whatever that might mean, Aries, And then we've got Circles by Post Malone. I don't know why I gave you two songs, but yeah, there's two songs there for you, Aries. Give them a listen to. If it's not your genre, you can dump it, right? But there might be a little message in there, all right, in those songs for you. And music is a great medium. It's powerful. Where was I going to go now? I want to take one of these, okay, to love you and leave you. It looks like a good month, right? Some of you might have a choice to make. It might not be a healthy choice in love, even though you still have rose-colored glasses on, just watch that you're making the right choice for yourself, Aries. Make sure that you're making a choice out of worthiness, Others of you, it really is, yeah, still moving forward, moving on, moving away from people that are no longer inspiring you. You're looking for new tribes to try out, to inspire your brain, your mind, Aries, and to reinstate that fire within you. When I make joy a priority, brilliant ideas will come naturally, Aries. Support will surround me and movements will form. And this is the art of manifestation. Energy begets energy. And so it really is, be careful what you think about, Aries. Keep it moving, even though change can be slow. And human beings don't like change, They like comfort, creatures of comfort. But change is great, We grow, we excel when we embrace change, Aries. But yeah, you're unapologetically doing you still. And it's not selfishness, it's healthy selfishness, which comes with boundaries. I'm respectful of you, and I require it back. It's a prerequisite to any interaction. Family, friends, people that just drop by your house unannounced, at meal times, dinner times, you just made a meal, Aries, and your heart gives them a plate of food, but they do it often, Hey, dude, do that. You know what? If you're going to pop round, just give me a heads up, It's a boundary, isn't it? You value your time. You're home. is your sanctuary. And so, visitors should be letting you know, all right, so that you can live your life in peace and not have to people please, and setting boundaries with these people, just saying, hey, look, I love seeing you, really appreciate you popping in, but just give me a heads up, those kind of things. All right, bad example maybe, but I think you might get the point, Aries. That's about it from me. Look, have an amazing last 2 weeks of September. Again, I'm apologies I didn't do the start of September, but I'm back into it now, and everything's sorted. So there you go. If you like the content, please like, share, or subscribe. It means I can continue to do this for free for you, Aries. If you want a personal reading, you can reach out on moderntarot.net directly, or browse the YouTube Modern Tarot store, and I'll do my best to give you some clarity on your personal situations. In the meantime, Aries, have an amazing last 2 weeks of September, and keep on keeping on. You're still doing well, Aries, and some people might be angry that you're changing and they're not changing, and they want to keep you around. It's like, Aries, you're changing. What they're actually saying is, Aries, we're losing you, if you read the subtext there. And it's because, you're uninspired. You have been uninspired, Aries. And it's go time. And, the universe has your back. God, however you frame your belief system, it's all there for the taking. And it's about forward movement and embracing change, Aries. So enjoy the last couple of weeks of September, guys, and I'll see you back here for another reading. Take care. Bye.